It's Casey Orr and Sean Whitfield for iTruckTV.com, and we're keeping you up to speed. And that means that once again this week we're talking about a Jimmie Johnson victory. Michigan International Speedway was just like two of the last three races. It ends with Jimmie Johnson in victory lane, which means now he's won 3 out of the last 4. And after this drought that we like to laugh about, not winning the first 11 or 12 races, Sean, Jimmie Johnson has reminded everybody why exactly he is Mr. 6 times.
That's right. And of course, we were all talking, especially in the media, in early May, what's up with Jimmie Johnson and that 48 team? They hadn't been to victory lane yet. Is there problems between him and his crew chief, Chad Canals? When are they going to get a win? And here now they've got 3 wins in 2014, his 69th career win in 450 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series races.
He moves up to second in the points, which doesn't really mean a lot because he's going to make the chase anyway. He's the only driver this year to have 3 victories, and it looks like he and his Hendrick teammates, you include Jimmie Johnson's or Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s win from last week, go back further to Jeff Gordon's win, and you go back even further. I think the last 6 races have all been won by guys in Hendrick with Hendrick Motors. So the engine shop seems to be humming along pretty good. Chad Canals and Jimmie Johnson are humming along pretty good. It's a good time to be a 48 fan.
That it is. And of course, this past weekend at Michigan International Speedway, we had the Quicken Loans 400, and Kevin Harvick was also on the Coors Light pole, had a strong day in his number 4 Chevrolet, but due to the right calls on the pit box by crew chief Chad Canals, it turned into a strategy race, and we saw Jimmie Johnson get his 3rd win in 2014. Of course, Kevin Harvick got his 2nd place finish, even though he wasn't able to make it to victory lane. In 3rd spot was Brad Keselowski, 4th Paul Menard, 5th Casey Kane, his first top 5 finish in a number of races in the last couple of months. And 6th spot we had Jeff Gordon, 7th Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming off his big win last weekend, or weekend before last at Pocono. Kyle Larson in 8th, he was our highest finishing rookie. 9th was Joey Logano, and 10th is Clint Boyer.
In the 11th spot, Tony Stewart, Kurt Busch 13th, Matt Kenseth 14th. Juan Pablo Montoya racing his first race of the season since leaving for F1 last year, finished 18th. Greg Biffle 20th, Carl Edwards 23rd, Denny Hamlin 29th. Problems for Kyle Busch as he finished 41st, and Brian Vickers 42nd.
Of course, it is that time in the program. We need to give a Danica update. Danica Patrick came in 17th, so she did manage to make it into the top 20. There were 8 caution flags for 36 laps and 25 lead changes among 13 drivers.
Michigan's a big 2-mile racetrack. It's all about horsepower. It looked like Kevin Harvick had the car to beat, but as we always say, Sean, you got to win it on the track and on the pits, and the 48 were better in the pits, about the same on the track, and was able to overcome Kevin Harvick in the 4 car. I tell you what, if it wasn't for Kevin Harvick's bad luck or pit road crew, we could be looking at as many as 6 victories for that team. So going forward in the year, it'll be interesting to see if the 4 team can turn it around.
And we often say NASCAR is a team sport, and certainly the 48 number 48 Lowe's team proved that this past weekend in Michigan, because they proved that it was a total team effort to get Jimmie Johnson into victory lane. All right, it is time for us to move into the driver's points standings as we head into the race coming up this weekend at Sonoma. We have a road course race coming up, and Jeff Gordon is our points leader. He's 15 points ahead of 2nd place Jimmie Johnson. 3rd is Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's 23 points behind the leader. 4th is Matt Kenseth. 5th, Brad Keselowski. 6th, Carl Edwards. 7th, Joey Logano. 8th, Kyle Larson. 9th, Kevin Harvick. And 10th, Kyle Busch.
In the 11th spot, Ryan Newman. 12th, Denny Hamlin. 13th, Paul Menard. 14th, Clint Boyer. 15th, Greg Biffle. And in the 16th and final spot, Tony Stewart. However, if the chase were to start today, go all the way down to 26th in the points, Kurt Busch does have a victory, the only guy outside the top 16 with a win, so he would take that 16th spot.
All right, as we head into race number 16 coming up this weekend in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race, as we said a moment ago, we will be headed to Sonoma, California for our first road course race of the 2014 season. Join Casey Orr and myself each and every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Valvoline Racing Radio on Rock 105. You can also catch us on iHeartRadio. That does it for this week's Up to Speed on iTruckTV.com.
right here on the NASCAR Update at iTruck TV, where Sean and I keep you up to speed.